The summer 2020 season is coming to an end. In this episode, we're going back to the Blue Ridge Parkway and Grandfather Mountain. Then, on the final episode, Blairsville, Red Top Mountain, Savannah, and Jetty Park in Florida.
I'm riding in my RV, wherever I want to be, 'cause I'm free in my RV, yeah.
Greetings from West Virginia. There is something about these mountains, isn't there? Something alluring. And even though West Virginia is the most mountainous state in terms of area, the tallest mountains are not necessarily here. They are coming up ahead. In fact, we're even gonna go through a tunnel, the East River Mountain Tunnel. The Virginia state line is somewhere halfway through the tunnel, and here to the right, we have our sign. I was really tempted to go by Leesburg and visit our friends Robert and Victoria, but I think I'm gonna keep pushing south. Ely is flying into Atlanta in exactly 1 week, so I wanna start getting closer. I think a person's first RV trip is always special, at least ours was. Some details are etched in my memory. In fact, our first boondocking night was right here in Wytheville, at Walmart. And even though they don't allow overnight parking anymore, I just want to stop briefly and reminisce. And take a bathroom break. Busy little town. I better get back on the interstate. We've got about 2 hours to go. Let's just pass by that Walmart I mentioned earlier, of our first boondocking night.
I'm gonna have to make a left. I just want to see it.
Then turn right onto Cardinal Street.
Maybe we'll put gas. Here. This is it. Whoa.
Take the next right onto Cardinal Street, then turn left.
We're gonna take Interstate 81, which is a good, far more scenic alternate to I-95 if you're going from the south to the northeast, or vice versa. And then we're gonna take the road less traveled towards the Blue Ridge Parkway. This is it, State Route 622 going south. Inevitably, sometimes you'll get stuck behind a contraption like this one. Oh well, when in Rome, we're getting really close to North Carolina. And there's the state sign and the crease on the pavement.
Welcome to North Carolina.
Oh, thank you.
We've made it to the Blue Ridge Parkway. It is almost mandatory, right? You have to stop at the first pullout you see.
This is Grand View Overlook.
I've never been to this section of the Blue Ridge Parkway, and the views are amazing. We're gonna stay at Julian Price Campground. I made a reservation. I think I made a mistake and reserved the tent site because I obviously don't fit there. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna get into this huge first come first serve site and pay for 2 nights. Before we continue, let me tell you about Surfshark VPN. And actually, on the next episode, we're going to stay at this very campground here in the northern Georgia mountains. And there's hardly any cell phone signal, but they have decent Wi-Fi. The only problem is it doesn't have a password. And that's when a VPN, even if it has a password, that's when the VPN comes in handy, because the VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and what it does, it creates a private, secure connection between your devices and the internet. And that is very important because someone could be eavesdropping on your connection and potentially stealing your passwords, your identity, all that kind of thing. So it is very important to have a VPN, especially when you're connecting to a potentially insecure network. Now it has other features. It has this feature called Clean Web that gets rid of unwanted ads and potential malware and that kind of thing. And then my favorite feature is that you can change your location virtually and have a bunch of servers all over the world. And let's say you're abroad, you're in a different country, and you want to watch your TV shows or your games that you are used to in your home country. Doesn't matter, there's a drop-down menu, you change your location virtually, and you can watch whatever you want. Now, if you go to surfshark.deals/MyRV and you type promo code MyRV at checkout, you will get 83% off and 3 months for free. I'll put a link in the description. Now, back to where we were.
Well, I think I really lucked out with this campsite, and I already paid for a second night, and it is a first come first serve site, huge RV site. I almost feel bad because I'm taking a large space, but it was available. All the other sites are like super minuscule. This B42 would have been good too.
Let's check out the lake. Wow, this is nice. It would be great to get on a paddleboard or a kayak.
Alright, came by Grandfather Mountain, and I'm glad I came because they have signs on the street, all over the place. Because of COVID, you have to make a reservation. I guess they're only admitting a certain number of people per day. But for tomorrow, it was plenty. So I'm gonna come tomorrow morning. I'm sure there's gonna be very few people because there were still 50 spots left or something like that. So
let's go back to the campground and get something to eat.
turn on some lights in here because it is time for another RV cooking show, and you don't want to see my mess in there. By the way, the furnace, so far so good, it's working, fingers crossed. Today I want to do something a little different. For the first time I'm going to try to use the Instant Pot with my onboard battery, and we'll see how much I depleted. If I depleted too much, I have the Blue Eddy, which can be like a silent generator. So let's do it.
Let's brown that meat. Some salt and pepper on the meat. It is a beer stew, so here's an IPA and some tomato sauce. More salt, cumin, oregano, paprika, and a little bit of sriracha, and the whole IPA. I'm gonna do a whole tomato. Some mushrooms, cooking wine, tomato sauce.
I'm gonna eat it like a soup, by the way. Hopefully, it'll be good. Now we wait. Hopefully, I'll have a battery tomorrow. It beeped. It's ready. It's done. So, I'm just gonna turn it off and release. Woo! Look at that steam. That looks pretty good. There you go. Definitely needs a little more salt, but it's really good. Good morning. It is the crack of dawn here at the campground. I plugged in the Blue Eddy, which, as you probably know, it's like a silent generator. It's giving Minitini. It's charging at a rate of 833 watts because I brought my battery down to 33% last night. Very quiet campground, very nice here. Well, in the morning, everybody, again, let's look for some internet.
Well, yes, this is the thing. It is Friday, and I have a podcast to upload, and there is no internet to speak of at the campground. Nothing at all. I can't even make a phone call. Maybe I can get something here by the lake. It is just an MP3 file.
Right, I think that the podcast uploaded correctly, so now we're going to Grandfather Mountain. I have a 9 a.m. reservation. I think I'm gonna make it there in the nick of time, but such is the life of the RVing YouTuber. Beautiful morning here on the Blue Ridge Parkway. As you can see, look at all these trees. It's amazing.
The Blue Ridge Parkway is definitely one of those must-do drives in the eastern United States. And that's where we're going, Grandfather Mountain. This part of the Blue Ridge Parkway is called Lynn Cove Viaduct, and it is definitely one of the most scenic parts. Here we are, Grandfather Mountain. They have a self-guided tour on CD, but if you have a car like mine with no CD player, they give you a USB drive. That's actually very nice of them. Let's stop at the first vista point here. Well, that looks kind of out of place, and I believe it is part of the Sugar Mountain Resort. Seems like a ritzy place. They even have a golf course up there.
For more information about Grandfather Mountain's trails, take a look at the trail guide, which can be found in the Nature Museum or the Top Shop. And remember, walking along the road can be dangerous and is not allowed.
Oh, what a beautiful morning here. Look at this.
This is what they call Forest Gump Curve, because it was featured in the movie's running montage. We've made it to the top, and here they have a visitor center, a gift shop, and the swinging bridge, which does not swing anymore, so now it is the singing bridge.
Well, it is pretty cold and windy here at the top, but the views are spectacular. Look at that.
The swinging bridge was built in 1952, but after it was rebuilt in 1999, it doesn't really swing much anymore, so now it is more of a singing bridge because of the sound it produces as the wind travels between the steel supports. And let me tell you, it is windy and brutally cold up here. I definitely came underdressed.
This way. I should have brought my hiking shoes. Oh. Well, here we are at the top. Yeah, it's really cold. I came completely unprepared for this weather. But you know, who would have thought, right? But in any case, it is worth enduring the cold for a little bit. Even the mask feels good, which is something I thought I would never say. Oh. Yeah, let's, here it is. The marker. We've conquered the top of Grandfather Mountain. Whew.
I found out it is very hard to operate the camera when you have no sensitivity in your fingers.
All right, let's head back. I'm freezing here.
Let's go back and defrost.
Well, just remember I had this coat laying around in the truck. I mean, it doesn't help with my hands, which are getting frozen real quick, but it's a little more appropriate than the hoodie. Such great views. I'm gonna do a little bit of that trail that goes up this hill here, this mountain. That's Grandfather Mountain over there, where we just were at the bridge right there too.
There's the summit, where we were just a few minutes ago. This is the Grandfather Trail, and apparently permits are required, but I'm just gonna do a little bit. It is supposed to get really strenuous and kind of dangerous, and I forgot my hiking shoes.
Some of these rocks are a little slippery for my Nikes here, so whew, the elevation is. I'm just gonna take a picture of the. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Take a look at this place. Oh, wow.
Down we go.
Yeah, I guess this is just hiker parking.
I just can't get over these views, and in a couple of weeks, when the leaves begin to turn, it is going to be gorgeous. Here we are, driving down the aforementioned Forrest Gump curve. Of course, there's the pop culture reference sign. We've got one more thing to see here, and that is the Nature Museum and Animal Habitats, which is basically a zoo. First, here we have the North American elk. There's supposed to be a cougar here somewhere. There it is! And we have eagles. Looks kind of sad in there, unable to spread its wings and fly high and far. Oh, the American black bear. Now we're talking. It may not look it on video since we don't really have a sense of scale, but in person, it is a really massive animal. By the way, all the displays have these very cool educational signs. I had heard of this place many times, and when it comes to the natural beauty, Grandfather Mountain definitely lives up to its reputation. And the zoo was a pleasant surprise.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Robert Morales. I'm a Harvest Host member, and I wanted to find out if it was okay to stay with you guys tonight. Please give me a call back at this number.
Yeah, I don't mean to be a contrarian. I know everybody raves about Harvest Hosts, and don't get me wrong, I like the service, but it is just not as easy to book sometimes. Sometimes you get a voicemail and they never call you back, so let's see. This place is a winery in eastern Tennessee, and it looks promising. It says they have Wi-Fi, and it is Friday, so I have a live stream to do.
Parking lot. The Blue Ridge Parkway is packed right now, today on a Friday at noon almost. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find parking at any of the Vista points, especially now that I'm gonna be towing the trailer. You know, I'm gonna have lunch and take a break, and then I'm leaving. Hopefully the Harvest Host will call me back, or I'll stay at the Walmart.
I'm gonna guess maybe not a good idea to be speeding on the Blue Ridge Parkway, huh? Let's go back to the campground, pick up Minitini II, and find somewhere to stay tonight. In a sense, I'm gonna be treating my second night at the campground as a late checkout, since I can't stay off-grid on a Friday night. Finding internet is of paramount importance tonight, since I have my customary live stream at 6 p.m. Eastern. Check it out, Grandfather Mountain. Let's take a picture real quick. That's exactly where we were. Can you see the tiny people on top of the mountain? I'm gonna get off the Parkway, regroup, and research where to stay tonight. There's a Walmart here in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, which may or may not allow overnight parking, but first, let's top off the tank.
Okay, change of plans. We're going to Tennessee. Yeah, this Walmart apparently didn't allow. I saw the signs, so I decided to call, and they said no overnight
200
parking.
feet, turn left onto Halltown Road.
So
Take the next left onto Halltown Road.
we're going to a Harvest Host. We're gonna drink some Tennessee wines tonight, and hopefully there will be enough bandwidth for me to do the live stream.
Continue on
We'll see.
Halltown Road for 2 miles.
It is so beautiful in this part of the country. What comes next is one of the most beautiful white-knuckle drives I've ever done through some of the steepest and windiest mountain roads I've ever been on, with the trailer in tow. Okay, this part is not so bad, but it'll get worse, trust me. It would be interesting to explore some of these communities here in the mountains, like Minneapolis, North Carolina here. Seems like a quiet lifestyle at this seemingly idyllic setting, and a church at every corner. It's about to get interesting, and not in a good way. I think I may have taken a wrong turn because all of a sudden the GPS has taken me on this narrow mountain road. What scares me the most, actually, are these long, winding downhill segments, where downshifting doesn't really slow me down enough, so I have to use my brakes all the time. Well, this has probably been the longest, steepest downhill grade I've ever done towing the trailer. And finally, we've made it to Tennessee!
Here we are, Tennessee.
Welcome to Tennessee.
Thank you.
This here to the left is Watauga Lake, and we're going to Watauga Lake Winery. a harvest host. This, by the way, is close to the northeastern tip of the state, and it feels very remote. There's no cell phone signal to speak of, and if the Wi-Fi at the winery doesn't work, we're gonna have to move someplace else, like plan B, C, D. We may run out of letters in the alphabet today. Well, what do you know? There is Wi-Fi inside, but the building itself is like a Faraday cage. I can't even get a faint signal out here, so Plan C it is. And there's another Walmart at a town called Elizabethton, which may or may not allow me to park overnight, but at least I'll be able to do the live stream from there. Here we are. Let's start the live broadcast.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Are we live? Are we live? Coming to you from a Walmart Supercenter somewhere in Tennessee. Oh, the sun is right there. Hello, everybody, and welcome. The camera is not gonna capture it, but it looks beautiful. That let me see if I can. There, if I can make it. I wish I could zoom in this little webcam. And I wish it wasn't so wobbly.
And that was probably one of the best sunsets ever captured on live video, but keep in mind my Cuban upbringing makes me prone to hyperbole sometimes.
To all of you, have a great rest of the Friday. Happy Friday, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the road. See you on the road. Good night, everybody.
To make a long story short, I couldn't stay at that Walmart either, so I had to drive into the night in search of somewhere to stay.
Good morning. Ended up sleeping at the rest area at the Tennessee Welcome Center. It's pretty good, very nice. I asked the security guard if I could spend the night, and he said, "Yeah, sure. I would never deny someone tired, Even though the rule is 2 hours." So thank you so much, security guard at the Tennessee Welcome Center. And it's now the first order of business today. Really, it's I want to find a dump station because I want to boondock one more night. I doubt I'm gonna find something today, Saturday. I'm not even gonna look much. And there's a Camping World in Asheville that has a dump station, so I'm gonna try. I've never done a Camping World dump station, so that'll be a first. But I don't wanna overstate my welcome here at the Welcome Center. So my welcome at the Welcome Center. See what I did there? So I'm gonna go to the other Welcome Center, the North Carolina one, and maybe kill some time, have breakfast, because the Camping World doesn't open until 9 a.m.
And we are now in North Carolina. Sunrise will happen any moment now. In fact, it already rose. It is behind all those mountains. As I said, let's take a break here at the North Carolina Welcome Center, but I'm gonna skip breakfast for now. And it is daybreak. Asheville we go on this beautiful morning. All of a sudden, fog. Deep, dense fog. Not gonna do a whole lot in Asheville today. First, I'm going to stop at Camping World to dump the holding tanks. And the fog seems to be lifting. Wow, look at that. It is going to be a beautiful day. And here's the plan. It is Saturday, so I'm not even gonna try and find a campsite. I'm gonna call our friends Roberto and Zulema in Waynesville, mooch dock at their place, and then tomorrow we're going to Georgia. I still have a Cracker Barrel gift card, so guess what's for breakfast?
Breakfast of champions. Oh well, that certainly hit the right spot. Cracker Barrel. One of the best Cracker Barrels I've been to, actually. Ooh, yeah. Now the adventure continues.
It is early, so before going to Roberto's, let's do another section of the Blue Ridge Parkway because why not, right? I know, I am kind of obsessed. This is the Broad River Overlook. Can't see much because of all the vegetation. Busy day on the Parkway. All these pullouts, vista points, each more beautiful. I didn't film much of my time in Waynesville. It was just a few hours. We had dinner, some wine, and quality time with old friends. Tomorrow, the adventure continues. Good morning! This is the Great Smoky Mountains Expressway, one of the most beautiful stretches of four-lane highway in the whole country. And today, we're going into Georgia and eventually Florida. But more about that on the next and final episode of this season. Until then, thank you so much for watching and see you on the road.
I'm riding in